The World Economic Forum has put out a really bullish video about Bitcoin, which we'll get into in a sec. We need to go over Stablecoin, CBDC, a couple of crazy things happening. We'll jump into Bitboy's insane court appearance as well. Having a look at the market cap, you can see that we're at 1.21 trillion, down 0.4% in the last 24 hours. Obviously, it is earnings season. We did see some stocks in the traditional finance sector rally. It hasn't spilled over to crypto. We'll see what happens tomorrow as we get more news comes out. Going over to the Big Daddy Bitcoin, 27.5, down 0.4% last 24 hours. Pretty much sideways chop. If it's come down to 25 or 26.4, still not a bad thing. Ethereum 18.42, 1.1% down in the past 24 hours. Having a look at the chart there, range bound as well. The market hasn't made up its mind what it wants to do. Arbitrum, just bringing this up because this is one that I'm interested in for the bull run. We'll probably start DCAing back into it again very shortly. Sideways chop there as well. So I'll bring this video up. Obviously, really quickly, this video is not financial advice, just providing you the news with fast facts so you can catch up and get on with your day. So I'll play this. It's a pretty good video and we'll break it down.
One of the key problems we're focused on emission reduction is called flaring. Flaring happens either in the oil field or in landfills where you have this waste stream of gas that's associated with oil production or happens from decomposition of landfill. Crusoe does is we actually build, operate, and manage these mobile and modular data centers that we co-locate on location with these waste sources of energy. And then we use those waste methane streams to power these mobile modular.
This guy is talking about Bitcoin miners. We'll keep going.
Modular data centers. And so by doing that, not only do we create a massive emission reduction from this previously wasted source of energy, but we can also produce ultra low cost computing infrastructure by harnessing this otherwise stranded form of energy.
There we go. How fantastic is that? What they don't say is they are talking about Bitcoin in that situation with that data center. We'll keep you updated with that. It's something pretty exciting to see. We'll keep going and check out this chart. Red all over. Unfortunately, this has been the trend for the last few days. BNB is up a little bit. Another good one for the bull run. Crypto bubbles. Floki up 56%. Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, please don't chase dumps. Now's the time when you want to find things that are down. Maybe XRD Radix is a good one to look into. So this is an article here about the World Economic Forum. WEF's promo video shows Bitcoin mining but leaves out the B word. The video showed multiple scenes depicting rows of what appears to be Bitcoin mine rigs, but the cryptocurrency never got mentioned. So the World Economic Forum showcased the facilities and tech employed by a cryptocurrency mining firm and implied its operations were the biggest winner for the environment, but it never actually said it was mining crypto, which is interesting. We will get into why further down this article. So the promoted efforts towards reducing flaring were large amounts of gas, from oil production or from decomposition are wasted. Prominent imagery of what appears to be cryptocurrency mining facilities are presented throughout the video. The video never directly addresses what is actually happening. The reason for that, one Twitter commenter suggested, is the WEF wasn't allowed to mention Bitcoin because of their previous standpoint for changing Bitcoin's code to proof of stake, citing the environmental impact of its current consensus mechanism. So this was the tweet originally that they were referring to by the WEF. You can see that there they are talking about proof of work versus proof of stake. Nonetheless, it is very bullish. This is interesting, this article, and there's only a couple of things that I want to point out. But Zimbabwe to introduce a gold-backed digital currency. So the country's central bank wants people to be able to exchange Zimbabwe dollars for the gold-backed token so they can hedge against the currency's volatility. I'll just get rid of that ad. There's one area there where they're saying even though they can exchange and get the gold back token, they can't actually redeem it there for gold. So that's the only thing with that, is it's a little bit of deception, a little bit of propaganda. They say it's gold backed, which is great, but more than likely you won't be able to cash that directly in for gold, which is unfortunate. Going over to anything crypto news, just these two lines I want to read out here. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum have come a long way from being dismissed as a fad or a scam to becoming a legitimate asset class and payment method. We've even got the WEF on board, which is fantastic. We are going to get into Bitboy crypto very shortly, just talking more about Bitcoin's recent price drop. It can be interpreted as a period of consolidation and a healthy correction after an explosive move upwards past 30K over the last several months. So market participants seem to be exercising some caution in light of the heightened probability of the Federal Reserve maintaining interest rates higher for longer. That's obviously their mandate. We're pricing in that they would come down to zero, but 91% probability the US central bank will raise their interest rates by 25 basis points. It's what I've been saying on the channel for a long time as well. It's pretty much given. They do what they say. Papa Powell does not care what devastation affects, because they have tools at their disposal to be able to fix what they keep breaking. They just turn the money printer on and it's easy as. So despite the recent price drop, the Bitcoin to gold ratio continued to head north last week, with 1 BTC equaling 14.7 ounces of gold in early April, up from 9 ounces at the beginning of the year. So a rising ratio means that Bitcoin is outperforming safe haven gold despite the ongoing macro uncertainty, and is a bullish signal. Now, Cardano, never mentioned enough. It's good to see CoinDesk talking about them. Wrapped Bitcoin token goes live on the Cardano testnet. Anita BTC project aims to attract Bitcoin liquidity to the Cardano ecosystem. Wrapped Bitcoin token, which will be cbdcs, has gone live on Cardano testnet as the project's developers seek to attract Bitcoin holders to the nascent Cardano decentralized finance or DeFi network. These wrapped tokens are a one-to-one representation of Bitcoin, but on the Cardano blockchain. Really cool to see. Obviously, Cardano does need Bitcoin. It does go to show Bitcoin is still that number one asset within cryptocurrency. Maybe with this pullback, not financial advice, maybe it's worth stacking a few more stats. So going over to the US here, the House Republicans make case on the stablecoin bill after the Democrats called for the do-over. So their latest draft legislation, it sets up shared federal and state oversight and says stablecoins aren't securities, but it's uncertain what bipartisan support the effort will find. So the Republicans, they are taking another swing at the stablecoin legislation. The new version leaves out algorithmic stablecoins, although it does repeat clauses stating that an issuer can either be a subsidiary of a federally insured depository institution or a state or federally regulated non-bank company there. So one of the most hotly debated points of the legislation has been how much authority is given to the federal and state regulators. This version would make a lane for state-based licensing for issuers and maintain the state's enforcement powers. But it also provides that an enforcement disagreement could be overruled by the Federal Reserve. That's why I highlighted that in red. It could be overruled by the Federal Reserve. At the end of the day, they're probably going to do what they want to do. If they want to come out with their CBDCs, they don't like stablecoins. It is giving them more power. I know that's not what that says, but they can use these loopholes to be able to do what they want. You can see the Fear and Greed Index, bottom right corner for you guys, has gone into neutral territory as well, really saying the market doesn't know what it wants to do next. Just an FYI. So Going over to the ECB, lawmakers could still next digital euro. The central bank wants the CBDC to be universally accepted and potentially usable by those without bank accounts. Members of the European Parliament can still stop the European Central Bank from issuing a digital euro, as lawmakers express increasing doubts about the value of the central bank digital currency. One thing on central banks is they're privately owned entities. They're there to profit the people that own them, that are behind the scenes with them. They're not owned by the state, by the country. It's a bit of a farce. I'm sure you're all aware of that. So if that call not to go ahead is done on the political level, I cannot see any chance that the ECB deciding autonomously or independently to progress, he added. I think at the end of the day, they'll do whatever they want. They'll just put out so much propaganda that people will be asking for it at the end of the day. Whatever they want, you know, they'll get it in the news, on the TV, throw it into Netflix, all part of that propaganda machine. Some people are calling into question of whether it is necessary to have a digital euro when it's so difficult to distinguish. Let's start that again. To distinguish it from any other payment method. If we make mistakes, there could be big damage, he said. We will not make mistakes, but I think it is good that others want to check this. Probably not make mistakes. It's all planned. It's all controlled. It's all about control. That's my biased opinion on that. If you haven't already, hit subscribe if we vibe. I will give you the news with fast facts. And say hi in the comments. I'll say hello back. Anyway, continuing on over to China. CBDCs are a real agenda here. We've heard about them for years. They are really starting to ramp up. On the conclusion of Charles Schwab, the Great Reset, I will do a deep dive breaking that video down because that guy is nuts. He puts in a lot of good points at the start. That's the propaganda, the programming, the control. Comes out with his solution, which is not what we want to see. And we're sort of seeing that in a way in China already. So Chinese city public servants to receive digital yuan salaries starting in May. Days away. When it may go away. We can talk about that as well. So personnel in public service, public institutions, state-owned units at all levels in the city will be compensated with the digital yuan. And there's a couple of things here. So the objective is to establish an efficient, convenient operation and management system by 2025. I wonder why they use that language there. Convenient operation and management system. Management to the people or of the currency? I dare say both. So the Chinese government push for CBDC adoption has not been well received by Hong Kong residents. Of course not. It's totalitarian. It's full of control. Now, back into the US again. It is getting better for Wall Street to be able to tap into what's happening in the space. So the fixed protocol has added support for the digital token identifier, which is DTI, to simplifies and standardize communication for trading digital assets. And that we had one thing that I wanted to go over here. So stocks, bonds, and other financial instruments around the globe already use various standard ID codes, a way to make it simpler to find and trade them. And one of the trappings Wall Street type expects when navigating markets. So the emergence of DTI is a way to make crypto more palatable for TradeFi, meaning fix is what conveys trades throughout TradeFi, which is pretty cool. Nice to see innovation in the space. Before we get to Bitboy Crypto, Ben Armstrong, there was a $1 million rug pull on Ethereum there with Ordinals Finance. Certic put out this. The DeFi protocol appears to have erased its social media presence after news of the alleged exit scam broke. Unfortunate, this stuff is still happening in the space. We're probably not going to get away from it anytime soon, and it gives the regulators more ammunition. Is not what we want to do as a collective. Bybit, they're falling under regulatory scrutiny as well, so they will introduce mandatory KYC requirements starting May 8. Sell in May and go away. Keeps coming up. We will talk about it. Users without KYC verification had a daily withdrawal limit of 20K on Bybit prior to the announcement. So KYC will be mandatory for all products and services offered by cryptocurrency exchange Bybit. If you are already using it and you've not completed the KYC, you can only close existing open positions or orders, return loans, or withdraw. Any new trading activities will be restricted. Their statement that came out, Bybit ensures that your personal information will be encrypted. We've heard that before, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt. And protected for privacy and security, and will be used for the sole purpose of verifying your identity to better serve you. Provide your details to the FBI. No, I'm kidding. Maybe though. It is neither shared nor repurposed for any marketing. Oh, so the feds don't get labeled under the marketing. So Bybit outlined the need for security and compliance prevention of illicit activities. I wonder where that wording came from. Now, interesting article. I won't read it, but just know South Korean court ruled Luna is not a security. So that's a really good thing. Ben Armstrong. I'll flip over to this page here. A couple of funny things here. Whatever you think, he's pretty good at winding people up. And in this case, I think he's probably been doing the right thing. Maybe not going about it the right way, but each their own. 7 billion people in the world. We're all different. He does it his way. So crypto influencer in FTX case says Bahamian pig tweet was a joke as judge warns him to be careful. He was actually really respectful with the judge, and the judge was really respectful with him as well. A judge did tell him to be careful with his wording that he was going to say. This is the tweet he sent out. Guys, I missed court but still ran into Adam and we made up. Photos of me and Adam, sponsored by stake.com. So poor beautiful pig. I don't know how she got dragged into it. But this is what Bitboy said. When I got on the boat on Monday, I realized, oh, you know what? I'm going there on Thursday, the day of the hearing, and I'm going to be able to basically take this picture with the pig because honestly, what he's done is disgusting, he said, referring to Adam. So in regards to that, sorry, not sorry, judge, and he still threw in a sly right-hander. We'll keep you updated. This is the news with fast facts. Hit subscribe. We'll see you on the next video. Be blessed. Peace.